So I work at Amazon. I'm actually part of the Ops Tech IT team, which is just like operations IT. Aside from that, I just pretty much game. I'm at home with my fiance and 4 cats and taking care of our newborn son.
We are here today for the Corporate Esports Association Overwatch 2020 Spring Playoffs. It is going to be a spectacular day.
Through most of it, only does get one as the Blizzard comes out on the backside. T also going to find the Deadeye onto Specs on the high ground. Google has to press on the pedal to try and touch this point. And they're not! Oh, it comes up short. Amazon Fire Force will be able to take Volskaya Industries.
CEA to me is like an organization that pulls together a lot of these like top companies around the world. I think it's like a great team building function, and then also it's for a great cause. It's for charity.
And since 2 members showed up in the top lane, they're immediately going to go for the dive in the mid lane with the damage on the Pandoria. Going to be able to pick up the kill. Twice over for Apocalypse. Everyone else is going to be running for the hills. Nobody wants to be able to join in this fight. With the minions there, the Baron's still on everybody. This is going to be the grand finals for Team Amazon Stock Dip. They've got the money, $5,000 for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. They have secured it for themselves with a 3-0 victory.
Yeah, so like losing to Adobe was like pretty heartbreaking. I got like the 2nd place trophy in the mail. I'll see it like every day, and like it's like a reminder, like you have to do better. You always have to like somebody out there is better than you. Like you should always try to be the best. But like we're definitely gonna come back way stronger, way better. We don't want to drop another game during the season. We definitely don't want to lose in grand finals.
Adobe Illustrators taking this next map.
Hello everybody and welcome to CEA, the Corporate Esports Association. I am JakeyBoyPro and I am joined by ReaperSteve. Steve, how are you doing this evening?
Not bad, mate. It's nice to be back on camera. I've taken a little bit of a break from streaming, doing commentary and everything else for the last 2 weeks to help out with some family things. So it's nice to round the year off. I know you and I started at the start of this year casting together, and obviously went our separate ways, but came back together, then went away, then came back together, then went away over the course of the last 12 months. So it's actually really nice to finish the year off with you.
Yeah, it has. It's been a roller coaster ride, to say the least. A lot of ups and downs in this crazy esports journey that we've been on. But coming up this evening, we have the 3rd place playoff happening for the ending of the Corporate Esports Association for this season. We have Microsoft NOX coming up against Amazon Wallbang services. Steve, we were just talking a little bit about how we think this matchup is going to go down and what our predictions are going to be. And I don't know whether you want to repeat those on stream, because I know you're usually not the keenest
not
of
ideal
sharing your predictions.
Yeah, definitely not. Yeah, I like to talk the big talk between me and you, obviously, pre sort of cameras going live and everything else. We'll have our own conversation where we'll discuss how we've seen the stats for the players and how we've seen the stats for the teams kind of progress over the seasons. You and I seem to always manage to link in with each other for either grand finales or like the last 2 games. So we don't really get a chance to see how players performed outside of watching gameplay. But looking at the way the stats represent themselves, this does seem to be quite a heavy kind of step for Microsoft NOX to take. So we'll see what happens as we lead into the first round.
Yeah, and straight away we're seeing this Amazon Wallbang services team rush up through the CT wrap all the way heading towards B, as we see already frags coming out in the form of Funta and Poison Monkey. Pi getting one in return, but now it's all Luminos on this B bomb site, and he just gets gunned down by that Glock 18. And now only with Pi and Emperor with it all to do.
Yeah, lot of weight on the shoulders. They do have some HP advantage. As I say it, that HP advantage gets taken away, of course. Now Pi left on his own to take a 1v3 on. He still has a HP advantage, though, and armor to work with. He's just got to get that opening frag. He does indeed, and that leaves him with very low HP. But realistically, pistol round, you're going to push this, right? I mean, I would at least anyway, even with
he's got
the first round going. Yeah, exactly. Losing a pistol and some body arm, which he's picked up. And that's the end of that one.
Yeah, Amazon Wallbang Services taking that with relative ease. Not really too much really going against them. Yeah, okay. 1 second, we're just having some issues with our feed for Steve. He's not seeing everything too great right now. Let's just...
No. I'm very much enjoying watching a couple of seconds behind. It's always fun.
We're also apparently having issues with audio on stream. I think maybe it's just a little bit quiet. So let's just bump that up. Yes, it is just quiet. Hopefully we can get your feed just fixed whilst we let this second round go underway.
Oh, I have audio at least anyway, so I can hear things. It's just very, very...
It's not laggy anymore for you, correct?
Yes, it is still.
Okay, so that's something on your end then.
Yeah, what's weird here? I'll let you continue to talk, and I will try and see if I can fix this very quickly.
Okay. Right, yeah, so well, obviously going to be an easy round coming out for Amazon Wallbang Services into this one, having that weaponry advantage against some MP9s and not really too much else. We do see Third Person actually do take down Food Monster of the Amazon Wallbang Services, but not really too much else is coming out for this Amazon Wallbang Services side. Or should I say the opposite side of Microsoft NOX. Sorry for the the commentary being a little bit jaded and clunky right now. We're just trying to sort out some technical issues going on in the background. Hopefully, Steve, hopefully your feed's looking a little bit nicer now.
Yeah, sort of. I mean, yeah, I can see
lagging?
it. It's very laggy still. I have no idea why though. I've just run a quick speed test on my end of things. I'm still getting 200 meg.
Do you have hardware acceleration on in your advanced settings? Or under the display, I think. Wherever that is, actually. I can't remember where it is. It's under voice and video, I think. If you turn, yeah, H246 hardware acceleration, turn that off. I think that usually makes things a little bit...
Okay, well, it's a little bit better at least. Anyway,
can you read?
I can see it. I just can't hear it.
You'll be able to hear it now. 1 second.
Thank you.
Okay,
there we go. I can hear it. Yeah, there you go. Sorry about that, everyone. A little bit of technical difficulties. It wouldn't be an esports commentary unless there were technical difficulties. Let's be completely honest with ourselves. You know, Jakey will attest this. We did a commentary for BBC Sport this year. Which is British Broadcast Corporation, forget my words right around here, their sports side of things for Scotland. And there were a little bit of technical difficulties in that, and that's in front of, you know, thousands of people. So it's always fun, nonetheless, keeps you on your toes and all that kind of good stuff. But 3-0 for Amazon Wallbang Services kind of feeds into what we discussed earlier on, of course, Jakey. You're looking at the scoreboard differences between these two, not to take any away from NOX. In any way, shape, or form, you know, they've won their fair share of games. However, when they've come up against Amazon Wallbang Services, you know, they've been 16-3 in one of the games, at least anyway, that we were looking at earlier. So, yeah, a bit of a big task ahead of Microsoft NOX to be able to hold these sites down and draw a few rounds out, at least anyway.
Yeah, we were talking in the pre-game a little bit how we do think that it's going to be, this entire game is going to be an uphill battle for Microsoft NOX. Amazon Wallbang Services being quite the favourable team coming into this matchup. We didn't really talk about the actual maps coming out for this best of 3. Obviously, first up we have Inferno, followed secondly by Dust 2, and then a decider on Train if it is needed. And Amazon Wallbang Services looking rather poised to be taking this first map with relative ease.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest sort of issue with this map I found is, I find quite a lot. If you've got quite a strong attack inside, You've got quite a strengthy attacking side behind you, and you're going up against a team like NOX where the confidence may not always be there, if that makes sense. You're going to struggle, on Inferno, unfortunately, and that is a natural thing that happens to quite a lot of different teams.
Yeah, and straight away another round going the way of Amazon Wallbang services. Hopefully, Steve, we do get the last few issues of your feed eliminated. But,
let's hope.
There's not been too many big things to be talking about so far into this game. It's just Amazon Wallbang services really doing all that they need to do to be able to get a good grip on this first half of Inferno. Not even opting to take the bomb. Funter just throws it on under balcony and just rushes up mid with the M4 in hand, takes down Bird Person and also Emperor. And now this A bomb site is all for the taking of Amazon Wallbang services.
Yeah, you can see as well from the Amazon Wallbang guys' perspective, they are very much just enjoying themselves with it, and that goes in hand with a lot of the confidence you're seeing from them. You've got players, as you said, dropping bomb at mid, not really too fussed about carrying the bomb up, getting opening fries, getting those picks. That's a good two-man piece there coming in from Food Monster. A third, in fact, as well, and we'll finish that round out, taking us into round 6. But yeah, I mean, Inferno is, if you get a really good attacking side, you can see rounds like this. Even teams which are professional teams, like I know a couple of weeks ago, you and I sat down. Was it you and I? No, it wasn't me and you. I sat down with a friend and colleague of mine who does some other production work. He mainly does a lot of I was going to say Overwatch, like an anime game, but you know what I mean. He does a lot of Overwatch commentary and a lot of Overwatch production. We were sat there talking. We were watching an old replay from a very old IEM game. And you're watching professional players go up against each other. And once that one side that you can see on T side on Inferno has that good bit of confidence behind them, have that good bit of like game info and game knowledge about their enemy team that they're going up against, you can stomp people. You can really put the damage on in the first half. And this is what we're seeing from Amazon Wallbang services. Let's not take away from the fact as well that we've watched games like this before where, CT side, everything changes, and they end up coming back neck and neck for rounds. We saw that on Nuke in the game before last that you and I covered as well.
Yeah, hopefully we do see it become a bit more competitive between these two teams. But it's not looking that way so far, unfortunately.
Third place, once again, final this would be. It is a best of 3, of course. We still have one more map, at least one more map coming up. Even if this one is a quick one. And, at the minute, the way that Amazon Wallbang services are playing, it feels like it would be a quick one. But, that's not for you and I to decide on. That's for us to watch and kind of hopefully see a bit more with.
Yeah, so again, hopefully we should be seeing a bit more coming out for the side of Microsoft NOX, but so far into this game, it really doesn't look all that hopeful for this side.
No, it doesn't feel like it at the minute, and I almost feel bad when we talk like this about teams, but realistically, yours and my job isn't to kind of sugarcoat things in some cases. Definitely not in this case, at least anyway, where we were looking at gameplay in the way that it is. I do feel, and a lot of people will probably agree with this statement I'm about to make. Sometimes you can have games like this, but the game is only this way because there's a lack of seeding, correct seeding in that sense. And then right at the very end, you come to your sort of finals where you've got your third, second, and first place prizes that are up for grabs. And for whatever reason, the teams that you're watching have seeded in a particular way that allows them to get to this point when they're going to face a team that realistically maybe should be in first place, but they've only dropped out of first and second because of 1 or 2 bad games. I think when we tallied up the scoreline for Amazon, they had something like 15 wins and 17. Which is one of the reasons why they've dropped out of the top spots. they're going up against a team like Microsoft NOX that have worked like so hard to get to this position, and then they're going up against a team which, frankly, probably could have seeded higher than them.
Yeah, so it is looking very, very good for the side of Amazon Wallbang Services. Not really too much for us to even talk about. Well, actually, one thing I've just noticed is Poison Monkey, 12 kills to 0 deaths so far in this first half, building up bank of $15,000, and you got to be wondering what Microsoft need to do to be able to get them back, to get themselves back into this game.
We spoke about this before in another commentary that you and I did. Sometimes teams, genuinely, what they need is a reset round. And a reset round is, quite simply put, a round where they push mid or pistols, or they push a specific angle as a full stack team. They get frags, they push that confidence margin out of the window, and they kind of crack on from there. And I genuinely think that is sometimes some of the best gameplay that you'll find from teams is when they have those pushback rounds like that. You know, it's a mental reset at the end of the day, and it'll build you up ready for the follow-on rounds that go after. Yeah, you're going to win some, yeah, you're going to lose some, but at the same time, getting those picks is what confident building is all about.
This position could actually be huge right now for Pi. He's in this smoke, but CZYMS spots him out through that smoke as it does start to fade, and Pi is unable to do anything into that round for Nox, and still no death on the board for Poison Monkey. And Nox are really, really struggling right now to be able to get anything in the form of kills, in the form of damage, in the form of anything against this Amazon Wallbang Services side.
8-0. We said earlier on, you and I did, but pre-match again. I'm going to keep referring back to pre-match stuff. You know, we said earlier on, the tricky situation with watching games like this is how quick we feel that it's going to go. And at the minute, you and I both, or I said at least anyway, you didn't. I said this isn't going to go to map 3. You know, train is the deciding round, but I don't see Amazon Wallbang Services actually taking it to map 3 personally. I see us going map 1 and 2 and then done. And then obviously we have the finals come up later on this evening. You know, at the minute, if Amazon Wallbang continue to do what they're doing, that is how it's going to finish.
Yeah, and Amazon Wallbang Services really do not look like they're letting up anytime soon, but Pi does manage to get another frag for Nox, and it's a 2-on-5 situation for that side of Nox, but Pi just offers up a free kill. Just stands in that Molotov and burns to death, and now Radiant picks up another onto Wolf. All on CZYMS now. Pushing up Banana on his own. Actually does get the first kill onto Radiant on that bomb site. Turned into CT and picked up the second of the Luminos. And now this is actually doable. Down from a 2-on-5 situation. Luminos with it all to do. AK in hand with bomb. Looking onto an empty B bomb site.
He's got to be very careful here not to get pincered. Obviously, he's got to know that the man, you know, Emperor is coming up behind him, or one of them at least anyway. He's going to get picked by the AWP, though, and Bird Person is the man to finish that round off for us. I was going to mention he's got to be careful with the pincer, because he's got to recognize that he's on 2-on-1. The obvious rotation from a CT perspective is to push himself up Banana behind you and then pincer. You know, there's only so many places you can hide on B site. You know, you're either going to land at New Box, you'll land in Dark, you know, or you're going to be stacked up at Coffins. Those are the 3 kind of main areas. Unless you feel a bit fancy and you end up going into you know, Church itself and stacking at the back by Altar. But realistically, you're not going to choose that option if you've got the other options available to you. Pi with the opening pick there. Getting a bit confident with their AWP. Understandably, obviously. 3 picks from the last round. Probably want to build his confidence back up after standing on that Molotov and succumb into it with such low HP.
Yeah, Pi getting that opening kill, it looked like that Nox maybe had another round ahead of them to be able to take, but Pi does actually pick up a second, but Poison Monkey with the instant trade, and now it's a 2-on-1 on this A-bomb site, that lurk in the form of Food Monster, and now Poison Monkey going once again huge. Only the 1 death so far in this half. In this game, 16 kills, 1 death. It's looking like he is on fire, and he's not going to be extinguished anytime soon by this Microsoft NOX side.
this ADR for this guy as well, 134 ADR with 31% headshot. Oh, he nearly added to that percentage there as well. That first opening tag just narrowly missing Radiant there in Library. Food Monster's covering that rotation, though. He's got a few of the footsteps, and he'll pick up 1 and 2 immediately, back to back. That's very nicely played from him. And unfortunately, Poison Monkey adds to his death count. It is only 16-2, however, so not a huge amount of damage to really, not a huge amount of damage dealt to his KD ratio.
Not at all. He does still have plenty of money in the bank as well, but another rebuy having to come in for Amazon Wallbang services for all but 2 players.
Yep, pretty much.
But
they got the money, though.
The money could be broken soon. Might take a few rounds.
I think it's like what we worked this out a while back. I think it was when me and you were doing Epic this year. We sat down together and we worked out the economy basis of it. If they're at 9k, that's 3 rounds that they can buy for. Feasibly 3 rounds.
Yeah.
11 rounds into it, they lose the next few rounds. Not really a huge difference. Oh, he's deadly with this AK. You don't care either, does he?
No,
you can see for the play. He's just like Flair. I don't care.
He's lurking, but he's playing aggressive at the same time.
Yeah.
He's catching off these rotations, and he's doing it perfectly. Going down to 6 health there, but not losing his life and adding another 2 kills to his kill total. And 9 rounds ahead now for Amazon Wallbang services. Microsoft NOX, they've got to be in their own heads trying to figure out what to do. Emperor on that 0 kill basis on the bottom left-hand side of your screen.
I am going to say something, and you're probably going to you might actually agree with me thinking on it, because I know you used to watch quite a lot of NACS as well. But like Poison's playing aggressive anchor, but also then not just playing aggressive anchor. Well, he heard you giving him the.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure Emperor's got the stream open in the background, and he just heard that. Obviously, there is a delay on GeoTV, so even if he did have the stream open, there wouldn't be any advantage gain. But yeah, he definitely heard me. He's picked up 1 frag into this round, and Pi picking up a second, and this might be the second round on the board for Nox now. Luminos here with that M1014 in hand. CZYMS, he's going to get his head spotted out, and Emperor, he takes it off. Emperor has heard my call. He's heard my call for kills, and he has answered it. Picked up the phone, he said, "Hello, my name is Emperor." And picks up 2 kills into this round.
Topping people's heads there, like incredibly well done from him as well. Like, to bounce back, it's never easy being, a couple of kills down, being the bottom of the leaderboard for your own team. But as soon as you start striking the big numbers, you look at the first opening 2 picks. Poison Monkey was one of the first opening picks, and Wump was the other opening pick. Not so much on the Wump side of things, but Poison Monkey is a dangerous player. Very, very dangerous. So to see that early frag go in their direction, and it's a high value target as well, that's definitely going to boost confidence into round 12.
Emperor's looking to pick up a 3rd into this round, and his 3rd of the game, and he does that with ease. Thunter just walking straight into the crosshair of the AWP. And now Amazon Wallbang services still up in that 10k money region. Only Wolf really down low, and that's because he has been rebuying those AWPs every single time he's died, so...
Yeah.
Still looking very, very positive for this Amazon Wallbang side.
Oh, Pi, it's a good trade. Fair trade, in fact. Food Monster is the man that dies, but Wumph will finally get that frag that he's been hunting for on mid for the majority of the last 13 rounds. A little bit too late on the smoke there. I was actually in the process of saying something about Poison Monkey, and he kind of did something to remind me there. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Stewie 2K. The aggressiveness of the way that he's playing anchor, pulling back away from sites that his teammates have already overlapped and taken, and then pushing himself around to a different side to take on rotation players. That smoke grenade right there as well, that kind of plays into that insight. Stevie being one of the very few NA players that likes to push a Molotov that way. So, yeah, I don't know. Might just be my observation, but kind of reminds me of him a little bit in that way.
Yeah, we're now seeing this Amazon Wallbang services try and set up towards that A-bomb site. That smoke being thrown out is going to be all the information that Emperor needs on that AWP, but he doesn't actually pick up the kill. And now Bird Person rotating in from Arches picks up Thunter, and now the bomb. It has a hard decision to make. Rotate over to B, which you're teammate, and that it's in the form of CZYMS, is now perusing towards trying to figure out what sort of stuff is going on over there, and he's going to be realizing quite soon that he's walking into an empty bomb site. The CTs have over-rotated, and now they've realized that the bomb is not here, the bomb's gone, and they've got a hard retake on their hands to try and complete.
Yeah, retake onto the bomb site when bomb is planted. Well, it used to be called Grill. I think it's now called Front of Coffins. It's not the nicest of retakes to do. It's very, very much an open ground, and if you've got good lockdowns like they have at the minute in New Box as well as Dark, it's a difficult one to retake. First opening pick. Oh, needed to get that kill. We'll get it on the second attempt. Pistol out. Nicely done. Radiant did very well there. Took out the cover man, but didn't bother checking Dark. You got to wonder whether or not there was any communication that it said like he's in Dark, because that's where I've been shot from.
Yeah, I was thinking then, why did Radiant just run straight towards the bomb when he still knew a player was up, and he just offered up a free kill to that last terrorist and essentially just threw away that round?
Yep. Yeah, a round that should have gone Nox's direction, personally. We are, though, in the latter stages of the first half of the first map of the evening. Sounded like a trade there from mid. Emperor taking quite a lot of HP damage away from our view. The economy again, by the way. Just, double up play coming in from Nox with not a lot of cash really to spread around, especially when we go into the last round. That's dangerous games to be playing.
Oh, that wallbang actually almost hitting onto Bird Person, and the prediction from ZZYMS actually comes out, and Bird Person just walks straight into that spray. Man advantage now for Amazon Wallbang services, and you gotta believe that they don't actually need it coming into this game with the prowess and the skill that they've shown so far, and the fight at the 18 HP on Emperor now towards Mini Pit. You don't really see him doing too much into this round. Poison Monkey's already looking that direction, actually does check the angle rather well, and all on Pi trying to hold this A-bomb site alone, but he's not going to be trying anything until his teammates rotate in to aid in this retake, but it looks like they may not even be going for it. Luminos just opting not to even rotate off that B bomb site, but that first Pi getting that first kill coming in, and now Radiant picking up a second. Pi does get traded out. I think Radiant at this point is just going to go for economy damage, but at this point there's not really much point because of the huge economy that these terrorists have built up.
Yeah. I mean, you could go for the retake, but why bother? You know, the retake is possible at that point because they know that they spot at least one. He's done a lot of damage to at least one. That's going to be Pit. So that Pit player is going to want to get out there before bomb blows at least anyway. They've managed to, obviously. Oh, that's upsetting.
They almost saved 2 ops.
Yeah, they almost saved 2 ops indeed. Yeah, that's a yikes from me. That's a big old hit as well to the economy. That loss of hope is it doesn't really leave Nox with a lot of options, in fairness, does it?
Yeah, another full buy coming out for Amazon Wallbang services. You've got to feel that no matter what Nox try to do into this game, they're not being able to come up with a solution to the aggressive and just pure raw skill and aim of this Amazon Wallbang services side, and it's going to be demoralizing for them, especially, I think, in fact, this was actually Amazon Wallbang services pick, so it's not going to be too demoralizing for Nox. They may have not scrimmed Inferno too much. It's quite a puggy map. You don't need to know too many slopes. Yeah. You don't need to know too much team play. You can just rely on the aim, and that's essentially what Amazon Wallbang services are doing right now.
Yeah, you can just rely on aim. You don't really need to do a lot of practice play on this map. Thankfully, it's one of those sort of maps where you kind of get used to it over time in playing. You know, I don't think I don't think I've seen that many teams that actually sit down and go, do you know what, we need to play this one X amount of times to be able to get used to it, because it's not really a lot to learn from on this map, not a lot to learn from mistakes or anything. You know, when you switch to a map like Mirage, for example, where there are literally like a half dozen smokes that you can pop to get A, you know, or you swap to a map like Nuke, where there are so many different flashbangs that you can potentially employ to retake a site like B site, it's difficult. And, you know, Amazon take us 3 rounds until potentially winning the first map.
Yeah, only 3 rounds needed. You've got to feel if Amazon Wallbang Services do pick up this pistol into the second half that there really isn't a way back for NOX into this game. And ignore the overlay at the minute. It will be swapping shortly. Amazon Wallbang Services now obviously on the CT side. There's just a few things that like to go wrong with this overlay, and I've still not figured out what causes them. So switch the names in your head. It'll update shortly as we see Amazon Wallbang Services switch over to this CT side to try and close out this first map and take us to Dust 2.
Exactly. And, wow, sorry, caught my mouth then. There was so many opening frags that happened. I'm not going to comment on what I'm watching from Flood there with the pistol, the dualies.
I don't think you need to. I think
No.
Amazon Wallbang Services just did it all for you.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the opening pistol round. 2 rounds left them to win. They're going in very heavy. They're going to buy up, aren't they? Yeah, they are. I mean, look at the purchases coming in. 2 MP9 straight up the bat. They've got full body armor, head armor as well. They've got a full buy, essentially, with round 2 cash. Don't forget as well, though, something to mention, or definitely worth mentioning, that registration is open for next season. All you need to do is go to the website, CEA.gg, and you can get your teams registered, take part in tournaments like this, and have people like me and Jakey and the many others that work behind the scenes at Corporate Esports Association commentate and produce your games for you.
Yeah, it is worth mentioning that this match is being played off for the 3rd place of this current season of the Corporate Esports Association, and that is going to be worth $300 to the charity of the team's choice. Microsoft playing for the Gates Foundation, kind of understandable. They work for Microsoft, but
Yeah.
Amazon Wallbang Services are playing for. They are playing for. I've lost the name.
Come on, Jakey, find it, Jakey.
National Association for the Advancement of Coloured People. So that is who their teams are going to be looking for to try and. Well, that is who they're going to be donating this money to if they do win. Mm-hmm. And it looks like Amazon Wallbang Services are already looking to take this first map. Only 3 kills away now, actually, from making that happen. Yeah,
2 very worthwhile charities, and you can almost guarantee the money is going to go to where it needs to go to, regardless of which charity it goes to in both cases. But yeah, I mean, this tournament has been very nice to come in at the end. I think it's probably the better way of putting it. You and I have casted 1 additional game outside of tonight's 2 games that we're doing. And I'll be honest with you, from looking at the things that happen behind the scenes, there is a lot of care and consideration that goes into putting these games on for you all. So hopefully you jump in on the next season. But that is game over as far as round 1 is concerned.
29 kills to 5 deaths for Poison Monkey. 29.
Again, I said seeding. I said seeding, didn't I, before we started? And I said it in the middle of the game there as well. It just feels like there is a stark difference between these both sides. When you look at the KD ratios from other games that they played throughout the rest of the season, it's very much a one-sided battle. It's unfortunate, but the games are still very good nonetheless anyway. We saw some very good kills coming from NOX. We saw some stellar rounds coming in from Amazon as well. So yeah, we'll see what Train brings us. Train is map 2, if I'm not mistaken.
Dust 2 is map 2.
Dust 2, sorry. Where am I on Train? Oh, wait there. I'm still on...
Train is map 3. So you're kind of correct.
How I've managed to fix this, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why I can see what is actually going on behind the scenes in the game is I'm now in game watching it with you all, as opposed to me watching it through the sort of call that we're in to get it. So not something I'm used to doing, I will be honest with you, but nonetheless, definitely enjoyable. But yeah, it wouldn't be esports if there weren't issues. It wouldn't be esports if there weren't issues at Christmas time as well, obviously. But no, I don't know. Dust 2, again, a pug map. How do you practice with Dust 2? I say a pub map. There are still smokes and flashes that you need to learn that will help you onto A site. A long, definitely. Coming up from short into A as well. But I don't know how you feel about this map, at least anyway. How what is it for you at least? Is it a pug map or?
It's a mixture, I'd say, because you've obviously got the typical long smoke setups that you need to use to be able to safely cross between long towards the bomb site of A. And if those smokes don't go correctly, then it's an easy sight line from CT all the way from mid towards that long position. So it's a mixture of both. You've got to know the utility usage to be able to allow yourself to explode onto the bomb site, to be able to gain that little bit of positional advantage over the opposition team. But again, it is a very big pug map. You've got to be... it's not too focused on the utility, but you've got to know the specific smokes, the specific splashes to allow you that extra bit of positional advantage, as I did say.
Yeah, definitely agree with you. I think, however, we'll take a small break while we wait for the players to get themselves ready into game.
Yep.
Very small break indeed, but we'll be back with you shortly.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Corporate Esports Association. We are coming back shortly with Dust 2, but Steve, run us down what we just seen happen on Inferno.
Where do I begin? I mean, we talked about how there is a disparity between these two sides. I mentioned at the very beginning, and like we don't normally talk about our predictions, pre-match predictions that we've had, but I mentioned AMZN being the one that's going to sort of bang out this game, and it's going to be over before it starts. There have been a few rounds where NOX looked okay, and they looked like they were going to bounce back a little bit. And then all of a sudden, the following round, it was like, oh my god, where have AMZN come from in this one? And it's just game over with already. I mentioned the previous stats from both these sides. When they faced each other last, it was 16-3 in favor of AMZN. That last game, more or less 16-2. Yeah, 16-2, I want to say.
I think it might have been 16-3.
I can't remember from like 5 minutes ago. 16-3. But if it's a 16-3, then
it was 13-2 going into the second half, and Wallbang Services won all first 3 rounds of the second half. So.
There you go. I know what I'm doing. Sort of.
you were right, to be fair. You were right.
Yeah, I know where I'm going with this. I know how to do this thing. It's been a while since I did this, but I know what I'm doing, sort of. But no, it's been it's been fun to watch both these teams go at it. There is a disparity between, I think, the skill level. There is a gap between skill in both sides. But that's not to take away from what Amazon have done. They've done very well to get to this point, and it's not to take away from NOX have done. NOX have done very well to get to this point. You mentioned it perfectly. These teams are playing for charity. There is money on the line for said charities, but I think everyone can be very happy in the knowledge that they've had quite a good season, the pair of them have. And you can join them next season if you go to the website. Like I mentioned early on, and I'm going to mention it again, and I'm going to continue to mention it, because the more players and the more teams that we get, the more games that I get to commentate on for you guys, and the more times that you can listen to me kind of pad for 20 minutes straight. But if you go to CEA.gg on your chosen web browser, whichever it may be, you'll be able to find more information about the Corporate Esports Association and gaming for charity in general. But I think we're pretty much ready to go live.
We are,
if I'm not
indeed.
mistaken.
We're into this first round of Dust 2. Amazon Wallbang Services opting to start on that terrorist side, with this being Microsoft Nox's pick, and already 2 quick kills in the form of Luminos and Pi, picking up those kills towards long, and now they're already rotating back towards this A bomb site, and a 2-man advantage coming out for Nox into this first round, and this is exactly the form of aggression and confidence that the team need after that stomping in the previous map. And Emperor now just trying to hold out on this B bomb site and trying to stop the plan and not allow that extra money to come in for the Amazon side. He does exactly that.
Yeah, we've got to both got to be very honest that that fake flash using the decoy was actually pretty pogs. To be honest with you, that was very nice to see. But yeah, first round done. Coming in with the first round is always a good sign, especially on Dust 2, especially after the last game, the way that the last game went. You kind of want to put the hurt on players like Poison Monkey and Flood Monster very, very early on, and they succeeded in doing that.
Yeah, coming into the second round now, we're going to be seeing a triple scout buy coming from Amazon Wallbang Services. Not exactly something that you tend to see.
Yeah.
It's doing work, already taking down Bird Person in mid through that door, and that's another weapon picked up for this Amazon Wallbang Services side, and that MP9, and now already exploding onto this B bomb site of Funter and Food Monster, but hidden in the back line is Emperor, and he doesn't actually do much with that scout in hand.
I don't think he could, in fairness. That MP9 came flying at him. They come at him like a spider monkey, just throw it all kinds of angles and shapes. Oof. That was almost a game over moment for Flood Monster. Run out of ammo on the spray down. Yeah, the MP9 is MP9 versus Scout. I know what I'm picking to win every single time. Let's be completely honest with each other. You're going to struggle. 1-1 into round 3.
I'm very surprised that Amazon Wallbang Services actually made that force buy work. The triple scout, which I admittedly criticized because it's not a typical buy that you'd see coming out in any sort of competitive match, unless you were just pogging a Pi. He shows what he can do with a scout of his own, and now Poison Monkey opting for the scout over the M4, I think, that he had in his hands in that situation. Interesting.
Yeah, he's dropped it there for CZYMS. Oh, that is a banger of a headshot coming on to Pi there. They're going to be like, okay, well, let's equal round for definite, because I just get it with the pistol, and I don't think I've seen any rifles as of yet, apart from the scout. So let's push this site. Let's get this site over and done with as quick as we possibly can. Oh, Fundy, you gotta hit those shots, right? Like, that's a shot that's easy enough to hit with a scout. Okay, he hits it with a grenade, but
I think he heard you.
Yeah, he did. Definitely heard me. There's a rotation player killed as well. Bird Person finalizing things as far as NOX are concerned into that round. 2-1 in favor of Amazon, and something that we kind of didn't expect after the first round. NOX picking up the first round. They didn't do it in both sides in the first map. So picking up the first round is pretty good for them. But realistically, it's about trying to stop the onslaught of rounds that they can lose potentially afterwards. Oh, that headshot from Poison Monkey.
Triple long stack not really actually doing much. Unfortunately, all 3 players going down with only 1 refrag coming out from Luminos, and even throwing the weapons out of reach to stop any sort of economic advantage coming out for this NOX side. And Bird Person,
That's BM.
He's gone unnoticed.
Is he?
He's gone completely
No way.
unnoticed. Poison Monkey just ran straight past him. Bird Person could do absolutely everything and ends up doing nothing.
I think he got caught out. I think he thought that he was going to be the only man there with the bomb planter, which is why he swung out then, but there was a cover man in place. I thought we were going to see, what was his name? French player, Squiggly? You know what, QLYS? He got done for cheating afterwards, but the jump-in USP kill, remember that?
I think I do, yeah.
It's very much old school. Oh, I want to see what the utility damage is like, because that's like 3 frags with grenades already, that is, and we're only 4 rounds in.
They are just finishing off those low HP players, though, so...
I will hold my hands up. They are indeed. I'll give you that one. 3-1 in favour of Amazon, though. And look at the economy difference already. You mentioned the 3-stack not working. It's being used as a multiplier for cash, more or less, at the minute. Poison Monkey getting a lot of that cash out of it, so yeah.
Yeah, this first full gun round coming out for Microsoft NOX now after that initial pistol win, and Luminos with that open hand does actually manage to get the second shot off and also picks up Woof. This first gun round could actually be everything that Microsoft NOX need to be able to slow down the momentum that Amazon Wallbang services are bringing into this second map off the back of that 16-2 demolishing that they put out on Inferno.
The thing of it is, as well, you got to now build on what Luminosi's just done. Those early frags with the AWP, they're very dangerous frags. So the long A frags, those are the ones you kind of want to get. The short frags that we're seeing now coming in from front shouldn't be there realistically. Correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was Radiant that actually dropped down from short. If Radiant perhaps stacked up a little bit more on short, we might not be seeing this round going in favor of Amazon.
Yeah, but even with Luminos coming up with those 2 big AWP kills towards long, they're still not able to actually capitalize on it and try and convert that round into a win. And now we see Amazon Wallbang Services take a 3-round advantage, and money isn't great across some of the players. CZYMS down to 2,600, Food Monster down to 100, so it could be a big reset if Microsoft NOX do pull off a miracle and are able to get another round into this first half.
I want to see a door bang. That's all I want to see. I don't care about anything else in this map. I think anyone who's ever played Dust 2, that is all you play Dust 2 to try and do if you're an AWPer like I am, is to get that bang through door. So whatever else happens in this match, I don't care about it anymore. I just want to see the wall bang through door. Big grenades again. Wonf doing a lot of utility damage with that one. You'll finish off the frag on Luminos as well. Emperor and Radiant, kind of, deja vu for them. Oh, that was nice. Oh, never mind. Yeah, I want to see the wallbang. Childish of me, I know, but I still want to see it.
You want to see a wallbang from the Wallbang services?
I do, yeah, I do, funny enough. Or onto Wallbang services, either or. Radiant catching a glimpse of the shoulder of Food Monster, I believe that was, on short and finishing him off, but he's only really got little options to use from onwards.
Yeah, although that was a full pistol round coming out from Microsoft NOX with only a few bits of utility and armor bought up across the board, we're now seeing a triple AWP setup coming out for the Microsoft NOX side.
Just having fun with it, guaranteed. Oh. Yeah, get away from that car. Thank you very much. That Molotov is perfectly placed. Funter can't get on the back end of it, or can he? He will in the end. He looks to take some team damage as well. Everyone was trying for that frag.
And that's exactly what they're wanting to do into this game. They're just going for the frags at this point. They're not even really playing for the bomb that much. Admittedly, they are taking it with them on their ventures across this Dust 2 map, but it's very rare that they actually win off the back of, on the back of a bomb plant.
I was gonna say it almost feels like they're basically going, well, we've got to take the bomb with us, I suppose. Otherwise, they know the bomb's in spawn and they'll just all sit in there. So let's just take the bomb with us and continue to get frags. That is unbelievable play coming in from Poison Monkey. That's some big cojones to do something like that. Let's be completely honest with ourselves. Oh, there's just too target-rich environment for him. He'll get Poison Monkey. Can he get a second? He cannot, and won't full finish Emperor off. It's too target-rich then for him. You see his mouse swiveling between 3 different players.
He couldn't decide who he wanted to shoot.
Yeah, it's like, which one do I go for first? They're all stood in front of me and they're all not looking at me, but it just didn't seem to want to work out for him in the end.
I don't really know exactly what NOX can do to be able to get back into this game. It was exactly the same situation on Inferno. There wasn't really... There were glimpses of hope and glimpses of just amazing things coming out for this Microsoft NOX side, but we haven't really seen that coming out so far. As I do say that, Radiant does pick up one, does spot out the second in the form of Wolf, but that AWP has got his crosshair on his head, but Radiant comes out on top. You don't really favor the Desert Eagle in that situation, but it does come out on top, and that's a second pick going the way of NOX. And Emperor flying through the air. Poison Monkey's just shooting clay pigeons at this point. And now that bomb is going to be heading towards that B bomb site.
Radiant's been pretty good with the Deagle, though. So, I mean, he could get a pick out of this. I really got to stop doing that. Curse the commentators, horrific for me. Like, genuinely, I can't even count on I can count on maybe 6 or 7 games I've casted over the last couple of weeks where I've said, oh, he could do this, and then immediately afterwards just get shut down straight away. So I'm going to stop cursing the commentator and people. I promise.
That won't happen, and we both know that for a fact.
Well, I've managed to curb my pre-match predictions.
True, as we do see CZYMS come straight back into this next round with another early frag. And the Wallbang services just walked into an empty B bomb site. Not a single CT even situated there to try and stop the push out from Halls, and Emperor now going to be pushing through that Molotov, trying to catch the terrorists off guard as the bomb does get planted. Food Monster picks up another kill, does get sprayed down in return by Radiant, but Food Monster is going to be predicting the push. He does indeed, but ultimately goes down, and that is another round for the Amazon Wallbang services. Let's
talk about how, basically what Wallbang services were able to do is get post-plant positions before planting. They had so much time basically in B side to go, well, I suppose I'll take behind this box. You want to go over there and then plant the bomb. So not the nicest of holds, from a CT side perspective, but I think at the minute, CTs, and you'll most likely agree with me, is that they're just having a bit of fun with it and trying some new stuff. At the end of the day, this is for charity. It's all for fun. I think both teams are pretty much at that point now, where they've been playing for the last couple of weeks to get to this point, and now it's just a free-for-all as far as Wallbang services are concerned to get frags, but NOX are just having a bit of a laugh. Whoa!
We've seen some quite nice plays coming out from the Desert Eagles of this Microsoft NOX side. Unfortunately, they're just never able to capitalize on the advantages that they're gaining and convert them into rounds, as we see Poison Monkey pick up another frag, and it's going to be spraying through that smoke, but Luminos does push through and does get that kill. Very low health, and does get finished off in the end by Food Monster. 8-round advantage for Amazon Wallbang services. Steve, what, if anything, can NOX do to try and get back into this game?
I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I don't think there is much they can do, in fairness. I mean, we're looking at, 4 rounds left of this half, so that'll be 2 rounds into next. So, if as long as Amazon Wallbang don't drop around here, they've only got 6 rounds left to go until this is all over with. It's a massive disadvantage when you're going from CT into T. I don't think there is anything they can do. I think they just both need to have fun with it and, next season come back out fighting.
P-Hunter or Thunter there, however you decide to say it, does pick up 2 kills quickly onto short, but Luminous and Emperor coming back in with kills of their own, a 2-on-3 3 situation now, and that nade is going to finish off Emperor now.
What is going on with these grenades?
Up in hand, he's probably going to go for it. He's got nothing to lose at this point. You're 8 rounds down. You've got to make something big happen. And it could be the turning point that these CTs need to try and get back into this game.
I'm going to say this now. I think it's Operation Broken Fang that's broken the game. You know, the Deagles have been on point. The grenades have been on point. I think Broken Fang has just broken CSGO. Oh, that is such perfect CS timing. And that's a nice, clean, quick kill.
Another round going the way of Amazon right now. Yeah, I'm really hoping that the final that we're going to be casting later on is going to be a lot less one-sided than with this affair that we're seeing right now. We're hoping it's going to be a lot more competitive, and we're actually going to have a lot more to shout and scream about, and hopefully we're going to be seeing just to be a lot more of a closer affair.
Look at the way that this push is stacked up onto A as well. So I wasn't really quiet there for a minute because I was watching. I just wanted to see exactly how Amazon are pushing onto A side. We're just, oh wow. Emperor just like, you know, I'm gonna quote Overwatch because why not? Emperor just, you know, high noon basically. Did Pi just manage to sneak that M4 without being seen? No, he did. You had seen. Okay. 1-on-1. Third person's got the HP advantage. Doesn't really have the weapon advantage, but Molotov is nicely laid. I don't think it's going to do much damage to him. Oh, okay.
The spray forces the readjust and just steps into the Molotov to finish off the kill.
I was about to say, I don't think the Molotov's too... I think he's just outside range of the Molotov to do any burn damage, and then that spray comes in and he's like, oh, I've got to slightly step a little bit, and game over. Potato Computer, I was mentioning Broken Fang because, I mean, we haven't had an operation since, what, March? I think, yeah, Shattered Web was in March. We haven't had anything since March, so, yeah. Nonetheless, I don't know. I know that the operation hasn't broken grenades, just making reference to the fact that we have a new operation. Oof. Oomph. 2 big kills there leading into A site. 3rd big kill again as well.
There's not really much to talk about.
No, not really. I mean, I'm really confident.
They're playing the almost perfect CS at this point.
Yeah. You asked me early on, you were like, you know, what do NOX have to do to try and, you know, retake this or potentially win this or come back in some way? I said perfectly, there's nothing they can do. This game, unfortunately, I feel is already over. I'm going to get commentator curse in a second, and NOX is going to come back and win it. But I just don't feel like there's any kind of recovery from this.
Yeah, at this point, I really don't think there is much that NOX can do to try and get back into this game. Hell, we've seen some big comebacks on the pro level over the years, but even with the with all the hope in the world, NOX aren't going to be coming back into this one, unfortunately. Third
person is just prolonging the inevitable. Then, like, you're going to get hunted. Unfortunately, you are 100% not going to survive that one, my friend. 12-1 into round 14. Potentially 4 rounds left. And Amazon Wallbang Services even will take 3rd place. Remind me again, 3rd place is a total of how much for their chosen charity?
$300 towards their chosen charity, and if Amazon Wallbang Services do take it, that is towards the National Association... No. National... I need to write this down. No, I was right. National Association for the Advancement of Coloured People. So that will be $300 being donated directly to that charity in the form of Amazon Wallbang Services.
That's going to be a weird day in the accounting office for that charity when they get a $300 donation from Amazon Wallbang Services. And they're like, what's Amazon Wallbang Services? Is that like a new what's it called? New division of Amazon. Oh. I don't even think the team frag is going to have that much of an impact. Poison Monkey's the man that takes the team damage, but realistically, the man is just super confident, and he's at 16 grand anyway. He doesn't really care. He's just throwing frags out for the fun of it for us.
I wasn't really expecting this scoreline to be any better than the previous game, but
no.
Amazon Wallbang Services have actually done one better. They've kept another round away from Microsoft NOX.
Let's talk about the weapons on Amazon's side.
Oh.
Yeah.
I hadn't even noticed.
Yeah. They actually bought up and then bought them immediately afterwards. It looked like they were going to go for a normal round, and then all of a sudden it was just 5 auto snipers looking straight down mid. Poison Monkey just sniffs out the frag, and he's like, "That's mine. I'll take it. Thank you." Flood Monster, a target-rich environment once again. We'll take down Bird Person. This is actually quite nicely played from these two teams, or this team at least anyway. They split the difference, and they've started pushing towards A side. So you look at a player like Pi, who's playing mid, and he doesn't really know which one to go for. Two-man retake?
I think this is a good half. Good half coming out so far.
Definitely.
CZYMS spotting Pi through that smoke does get quite an easy pickup. Emperor now, MP9 in hand, does expect the push coming out from CT. He does actually profile onto it, and CZYMS too quick, unfortunately, and gets that frag with relative ease.
Poison Monkey's ADR again, 127. 3.16 KD ratio. That's good plays right there. Again, I mean, there's not really much for us to talk about, in fairness. It's kind of what we expected after watching the first half, for us to be in this sort of situation where we potentially could be finishing the best of 3 off within, what, an hour and 20 minutes, maybe? If the next 2 rounds go the direction that we both foresee it going.
Yeah, I don't really see any way for Microsoft not to do much unless they do take this pistol, but already 2 kill advantage to the Microsoft NOX side, and CZYMS pushing up towards this A long position. The knife actually coming out from Food Monster. It doesn't actually manage to pick up that kill, but P Hunter and CZYMS does actually finish off that round, and now it is 15-1 for this Amazon Wallbang Services. That first round coming out from Microsoft NOX all the way in the first round of the game.
Mm-hmm. Now, okay, never mind.
You wanted a Wallbang?
Yeah, I wanted it. I've got it, and I was about to say something about it, and it happened, so... I wanted it, I got it, I'm happy with it. It's done now. Is that in the Gev? It is in the Gev. Okay, sorry. We're at that point in the night now. That is definitely in the Gev.
Bird Person has no idea where that flash came in from, and now Wolf actually does know where that last player was. He's got the smoke down, but Emperor hits the headshot through the smoke, and we go for another round. Could this be the comeback that we see coming out from Microsoft NOX?
I like the chat. That's it. That's all we wanted. You know, Luminos. You can tell, obviously, it's a fun tournament because both teams have been very, very good with each other. You know, there's been no BM as such. I say there's been no BM. There has been a little bit of BM, weapons getting thrown over walls and whatnot. But, you know, we're at the latter part of this game, and both teams are just having a bit of fun with it, more or less.
Team kill coming out from P Hunter?
Yeah.
Is he that desperate for kills?
Well, I mean, you know, second from bottom on his team with 17 kills. I don't know. Desperate for kills? Maybe just having fun with it. Oh, Pi, that was a lovely swing from him onto Food. They've definitely heard us, haven't they? Amazon have heard us. We're going, we'll do a best of 3 in an hour and 10 minutes. And they've gone, You want to go to map 3? We can go to map 3. Okay, I'm going to say it, and we're just going to acknowledge that I've said it. Amazon need to start playing with their food. You know,
True.
get this pistol round out of the way. Just, you know, put them out of their misery. What's the Simpsons thing? It's like, stop doing it, he's already dead, kind of thing. That's pretty much what we're seeing right now.
But if you do want to play with your food exactly like Amazon Wallbang services, then make sure you do go over to CEA.gg if you want to get involved in the next season of this league to play for money for a chosen charity of your choice with some of your work colleagues, exactly as these teams are doing now. As we see another quick round coming out for Microsoft NOX, only the pistols on Amazon Wallbang services, so not exactly too much to talk about.
Yeah. The other thing to take into consideration is it's not just CS that's available as well. There are multiple games available for you to play with your work colleagues. You know, League of Legends, there's Dota, there's Overwatch. So there's an abundance of different things you can do within CEA for you and your work colleagues. Just go to the website and you can check it all out from there.
And this is where we see the first gun round of the CT side of Amazon Wallbang services come out. Quite a mixed buy, a singular two M4A4s, two M4A1Ss, and a FAMAS in the form of Food Monster, as we see P Hunter pick up that first frag over towards the long position. Luminos does actually swing out and gets the refrag back onto him, but CZYMS is also there in a quick flurry of frags. Down to a 3-on-3 situation, it may as well be a straight round reset now. And Wolf on A bomb site alone takes down the push from Emperor on short. And the CTs are already rotating over.
They know that's got to be an A push now. They've seen bomb as well, thinking on it, so they're definitely going to notice it. And that is GG. It. Your third place team for Amazon Wallbang services. What a really enjoyable game. I mean, you know, there was obviously the factor that you know, there was two very quick games out of that one, but nonetheless, very enjoyable. I've definitely enjoyed myself, at least anyway, and I hope you have, Jakey.
Oh, certainly, yes. But don't forget, this is not the only game that we have happening this evening. We do have the grand finals later on in about 2 hours' time, so make sure you do stick around for that. But Amazon Wallbang services are your third place for this season of the CEA, taking home $300. Well, I say taking home $300, but donating $300 to the National Association for the Advancement of Coloured People. But before we do go anywhere, we will be throwing it to a break. I say a break. We're going to end the stream and just go chill out, get prepped for the next game, do some research. Make sure we've got all the information we need to make it as enjoyable for you all to watch at home. But before we do that, we've got some Patreons that we would like to thank to be able to make all of this possible. So, Steve, if you want to run us through the list quickly.
Yeah, Zheng Yang, thank you very much. Joshua Flores, Mario Maladona, Corey, and TPG Leo. Thank you very much to yourselves there, our Patreon sponsors. What a great evening. We'll be back in a couple of hours with the final game for this series and the final game for this year, at least anyway. For
Who
CEA.
is that we're actually going to be seeing facing off, Steve?
That is LinkedIn, or Dingtin, I should call them, actually, to be completely correct. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, just putting this up in the background, Microsoft Office.
Yes.
I'm very much prepared, ready for the rest of the evening.
Hopefully it's going to be a lot more closer and a lot more competitive than that game. We just, hopefully we'll see it go to all three maps and we'll see some high fragging players show up like we've seen from Poison Monkey in those games just there. So from myself and Steve, thank you very much for watching. Make sure you do come back in a couple of hours to see the culmination of this season of CEA. But for now, for now, goodbye.
For now, see you later.
Yes, for now, see you later. And take care. Make sure you come back very, very soon.
See you in a bit.
die.